Alright guys, today's video here, I would like to continue the discussion about this 3-month study period thing that Steve Kaufman has started. And I watched a few of his videos he made like yesterday and the day before yesterday, and it seemed like he's him and Benny Polyglot, they've been having some serious exchanges about this topic, and he had came out of the gloves, and they've been at it for a few days now. And I know I made a video response before. But I would like to talk a little bit more about this duration period. So, like I said, I agree with both Steve Kaufman and Benny Polyglot. I believe that it takes a lot of time. Okay, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to learn the language, and you have to do a lot of reading and all that good stuff and listening. All that stuff is part of learning the language. I agree with Steve Kaufman when he says that. There's nothing wrong about that, and nothing inhuman about that. If I'm not saying, I don't know if Benny Polyglot really said that, but there's nothing inhuman about that. That's important input as part of learning the language. And Benny saying that like 3 months you can learn, like be fluent in 3 months. I agree with him there. Like, you can learn a language really well in 3 months. But again, you have to have the time. You have to use the right methodology. And yeah, you have to have the time and have the right methodology and be motivated. However, what I didn't mention was the families, how they're related. So if you okay, first of all, I will always recommend, I made videos about this, I think last year sometime. I can't remember the name of the video. I have like 500 videos up, almost 500 videos up. And I can't remember what the name of that video was, but I always talked about how one should have at least an intermediate level before they go to the country. I mean, that's just my opinion. That's what I would do. I won't go to a country and start off from scratch. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not bad, but I think it's better to be at least be on an intermediate level before you go to the country. That's just, I don't know. That's just, I just feel that it's important for me to be on an intermediate level before going over there. So I talked about that, and you don't necessarily have to go to the country to be able to actually start speaking the language well. You don't have to, because I mean, it's going to be the same. The only difference is when you go to the country, you're surrounded by the people constantly. You're surrounded by the language. It's there every day. You get to hear it every day. So that's the good thing. But at the same time, you still have to work hard. Okay, it's not like you're going to go over there and just be sitting around and you're going to just learn a language like that without studying hard. You still have to put some hard work in to learn a language. So it's pretty much the same. You go over there, you just have a better opportunity for practice, and the language you get to hear it every day. So you don't have to necessarily go over to the country to speak language well. I'm not, like I said, I commend Benny for what he's doing. I commend him for what he's doing about, going around showing people, like, okay, you do this, you go to a country for 3 months. I'm not sure what his real how can I say this? I'm not sure what his real agenda is for doing that, to going over to these different countries. It's a good thing, because like I said, I commend him for what he's doing with his languages. But I don't know if he will, because I haven't read much about him on his blog. I read a little bit of stuff, but I don't know if what his message is to the people. What his message is. I don't know if it's like, well, just go to the country and spend 3 months and you'll be able to speak the language well, and that's it. And like that, I wouldn't tell people that, like, okay, just go to the country for 3 months and just stay there and study language, and then you'll be well. Because a lot of people don't have money to go over to the country, and a lot of people don't like certain countries, like let's say maybe in Iran, some people, they're learning Persian, they can't go over there. You see, they can't go over there, so they don't have a choice but to stay in their own country and learn the language. So I don't know what his message is, and my message, I always try to tell people that no matter if you had the opportunity to go to the country or not, you will still be able to learn the language well, but you have to work harder, because you have to find the people to practice with. You have to find and practice with. So that's that about going to another country. And back to the family thing. It's really, if you start learning language like Spanish, and let's say you spend 3 months if you spend 3 months learning Spanish and you're a native English speaker, I think you can attain an advanced level in Spanish in 3 months. Okay, I really do believe that. I believe that you can attain an advanced level in Spanish in 3 months, especially if you're a native speaker. A, if you're an English native speaker. B, if you have the time. C, if you have the right methodology. And D, if you are motivated. If you have those 4 things, you will learn that language to an advanced level in 3 months. I believe that. I believe that's possible, especially from my experience touching Spanish. Now, I'm not claiming that my Spanish is really good, which is not. I've studied Spanish for less than a month. But from touching Spanish and seeing that it's so easy, I believe that a native English speaker can learn that language to an advanced level in 3 months. Okay, but like I said, your time, methodology, all that great stuff. So I think that's possible to do. Now, I'm aware that Benny, most of his languages are European languages: Spanish, French, German, Italian. All of those languages, I see that they're all European languages. So for him, it's probably not that difficult. And going to the country, doing that, it makes you even better because you're surrounded by the language every day. You get to use it. So I'm sure it's easy for him to learn Spanish first and then jump over to French and then go to Italian. Really, really easy. But once you start getting to the other side, once you start like going over on the other side of the map, going to, just learning languages like Chinese and Japanese, Russian, Arabic, Georgian, all those other crazy languages with crazy structures different from the Romance language, it's going to get tougher, and it's going to take a longer time to get to like a really high advanced level in 3 months. It's going to be tough. Even when you have the right methodology and time, I think in 3 months, I think it's still pretty difficult to attain like an advanced level, even a low advanced level in 3 months. It's going to take time. Now, maybe a year or a little less than a year you could, but like 3 months, it will be a little bit more complicated because it's a completely different language family. So I agree with Steve Kaufman when he said that. He was comparing like, yeah, Spanish is not that different from Portuguese, and it's not so difficult to obtain at a high level in Portuguese if you know Spanish, you see. So yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, I love what Benny the Polyglot's doing. I'm not in this ring with you guys. I understand you guys are going at it. I'm just giving my thoughts about it, and I like what Benny is doing. I like that. I like the fact that he's motivating people for learning languages. But as I said, I don't know what his message is behind what his message is. Is he telling people to just go over to the country for 3 months, or just go over there and learn language you speak well? Because I like to encourage people here and when they're in their own country. Because a lot of people, like I said, people don't have money to travel. I'm one of those people. Like, when I start learning language, I don't have money to travel around like that. Even now, I can't afford to travel around and live in countries for several months. That would be great, but I don't have that kind of money, and a lot of people don't have that kind of money. So, just try to give hope to people who are in that situation and they want to learn a language, but they don't have that opportunity to go over to the country to actually learn the language. So that's the point. That's my message. What I try to do on YouTube, I just try to get people motivated to learn languages in their own country, because I believe it's possible. It's possible to learn language really well in one's own country without going over there. So we can't really just run off to another country and say, I'm going to go live I'm going to go live over in Japan for 3 months, 6 months and come back and be fluent. We can't always do that. Not everyone can do that. Some people can, but not everyone can do that. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that. And like I said, I don't have anything against Benny the Polyglot, Irish Polyglot. I don't have anything against what he said, but I just kind of wondered what his message is behind that for what he's doing, going to each country like that, because obviously he has a lot of money to do that, and not everyone doesn't have money like that. So it's kind of hard to just say, okay, hey, just go to Thailand for 3 months and then go over to China, because unless you're teaching, unless you have a job teaching, and I don't know, you're doing that. But all right, that's it. I want to end the video, and yeah, let me know what you guys think. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for viewing the video.